Did you notice anything about the bias plus reports?
No.
All
Why
right,
don't you tell me?
we're gonna wait. We're gonna save that to a little
Oh, that was a tease.
show. Because we're gonna move into the Sterling Pro Football Net Point Power Rankings. That's starting to sound. I watch too much Good Morning Football because they have their prime time pick of the week thing.
Yeah, long drawn out.
I got a long drawn out name, so I have to figure out how we're going to work with that. But let's get ready to take a look and see where everybody is falling as of week 7. So here we go, Benny, with the bottom 8. And you'll notice 2 teams that are completely taking up the 32nd place. That would be your New York Jets and your Dallas Cowboys. Jets in last place in both net points. That's your NP column there, and points for. That's your PF column there. Jets in last place in both. Dallas in last place in both points against. That's your PA and turnover differential. So there you go. When we say that they're stinking up the league, they're stinking up the league. Where they didn't take last place in the net point, they took next to last at minus 9.6. So let's run down 25th through 31 real quick. When you have Philadelphia, Minnesota, Denver, and Houston at minus 4.7. A double 6.2 there for Minnesota and Denver. Houston being minus 7.3, and the Giants minus 7.4. Jacksonville minus 9.4. And I always remind people that at any point in time, half of the league is in minus net points. In terms of scoring, Carolina coming in at 25th place with 23.1. And again, these are averages. Jacksonville, Chicago, and Denver. New England at 29th place offensively. Man, wow. You got to take a moment to let that sink in. There's your Tom Brady-less New England Patriots. And Cam, geez. The Washington football team at 19 points. And that number probably got pumped up a little with all the points they put on the Cowboys. So there's your points for bottom 8. Points against bottom 8. You're looking at the Jets, Atlanta, Houston, Jacksonville, Cleveland, Minnesota, Las Vegas. Didn't expect to see them that far down. And how many points they're giving up. 32.8 on average per game. And then Dallas. And your bottom 8. 25th place, Giants, Jacksonville, Houston. Again, turnover differential, the difference between the turnovers that you take and the turnovers that you give away. And this means that they are giving away more than what they're taking. Minnesota at minus 1.2, Denver minus 1.3. So there is your bottom 8. Anything you want to say on that?
Just that Dallas really, really stinks on defense right now. Actually, we might find out coming this weekend that they just totally 100% stink as a team. There's a lot of rustlings about guys on this team just pretty much giving up. And you hate to hear something like that, especially from professionals. But when you start talking about the coaches and this is wrong and that's what's wrong. And then I see people out there missing tackles and blowing coverages and having poor footwork on defense and not being able to open up holes for a future Hall of Fame running back. I mean, that says a lot about your team, and it doesn't say much that's good. I'll put it that way. So.
Yeah, almost a bit of a minor mutiny going on over there with the way they're talking about the coaches and things of that nature. And now will be the time as we approach the trade deadline when you start to see them talking about, okay, well, we don't need this guy because we're not winning anything. Anywho, so here you go. All right, 17 through 24, net point wise, we're still in the negative. Carolina being 0.9, Detroit 1.5, that's 17th and 18th. You've got Cleveland and Atlanta at -3, Atlanta being an extra 0.3 there, and Vegas, Cincinnati, Washington, and New England rounding out 20 through 24 at 3.3 through 4.7. So those are your net points in the 17th. In terms of scoring, again, we're ranging from 25 to 23 on average points per game. Not many teams are winning at this level. Your Rams are. They're down there. They're winning. Buffalo, there's your question mark with the defense that you had about Buffalo coming in at 20th. In terms of points against, Tennessee, 25.5. And when you have the offense that they have, you can get away with that a little bit. You notice they are not in the bottom half in terms of net points. The Chargers, Green Bay, another team that we're going to talk about. Detroit Lions, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Seattle, 23rd, giving up 28.7 points per game. We pointed out their question marks a while back, and that hasn't changed. And this is, again, looking like the New Orleans Saints that we used to talk about a couple years back when they were scoring big and giving up big points. This is about where their defense would rank in a lot of cases. So they're down in 24th place. In terms of turnover differential, we got Chicago, the Saints, and the Rams at 0, breaking even, 17th through 19th place. 20th through 24th, all pretty much a fraction, 0.1 to 0.3. So not big time negatives, but negatives nonetheless. Moving on to 9 through 16, unless you have something you want to say about 17 through 24.
No, we're good. We're getting to the meat of the order now.
Getting to the meat. Okay, so this begins the top half. Everybody, well, not everybody's in the positive. Okay. Net points, my Niners, 6.4 plus, Green Bay, 6.3, Tennessee, 5.8, Seattle, 5.2, and New Orleans at a big net point of +1. The Chicago Bears, the Buffalo Bills, and the LA Chargers all at negatives, but they're in a fractional situation at 0.3 and 0.6 and 0.8. Okay, points for, now we're starting to push up toward the 30 points per game. Arizona coming in just under that at 29. Cleveland, Las Vegas, Miami, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Detroit, and my Niners, all within a few points to a fraction of a point differential, filling out 10th through 16th. In terms of defense, number 9, Kansas City, 20.4. Number 10, Arizona, 20.9. Washington, 23.6. New England, 23.8. They're in 12th place. So they got a little something to be proud of still, New England. The Panthers, 24. The Giants, 24.9. And again, we talked about your Giants having a bit of spirit. So they're coming in the top half of the league. And on defense, Buffalo just under the Giants. Man, just still amazes me. And then Denver rounding out 16th place. Green Bay, in terms of turnover differential, coming in at 9th, but they're pretty much tied straight down to Atlanta in 14th place. Everybody with 0.3. They're in the positive. My Niners at 0.1 and Arizona at 0.1. All again in positive territory. 9th through 16th. Any comments on that, sir?
This is one of the more volatile areas, I would think, where teams will be jockeying for position because, as you can see, 14 through 16 are still in the minus, although they're barely in the minus. New Orleans is sitting at an even 1, and then everybody else is on the plus side. So I can see that any one of these teams, well, obviously San Francisco and Green Bay are in the top 10. They're in the bottom half of the top 10. But a team like Tennessee, a team like Seattle, a team like New Orleans, and although I'm starting to question it, a team like Buffalo can all work their way into that top 10 within the next few weeks. When we do look at the top 8, then we'll be able to see if there's anybody there that looks like they might be losing their footing. But for the most part, that's where most of the movement's going to be. Those are really good teams right there. So other than that, let's go up and see what that top 8 looks like.
The top 8. Bam, there you go.
All right. Yeah, see that. Take a look. Just take a quick look. That'll answer a lot of questions for you.
Baltimore takes the top spot in the rankings with a 12.5 net points. Again, everybody here is in the positive. Right behind them, Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh in third place, 10.8. Just a tenth of a point behind Pittsburgh is Kansas City. And look who coming in number 5 in the top 5, the Cardinals.
After that big win.
Big win. Excuse me. Look who's in 6th place.
No, you don't have to excuse yourself. That should have been the first place your eyes went when after I said, let's see who's slipping in the top 8.
And right below them, in what we know is going to be the matchup, one of my intriguing games of the week, the LA Rams. So that already tells you something about the upcoming bias, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And then you got your Colts rounding out 8th place. All right. Top scoring team so far this season, Seattle Seahawks, tied with the Green Bay Packers. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are scoring. They're definitely scoring. Tampa Bay's coming in at third, 31.7. Tennessee just 0.4 points behind Tampa Bay, and Kansas City 0.2 behind Tennessee. So you got some teams there that are all crunched up in that 31, that plus 30 range. Pittsburgh being 6th place, New Orleans being 7th place, and Baltimore just dropping under 30 points at 29.8. We could round them up to 30, but we don't play that around here. All right. Points against. These are the small numbers. Look who's in first place in defense. That's how you get to first place in net points. You find yourself in a situation where your defense is number 1. That usually helps. The Rams are right there, 17.7. Look who's right behind the Rams, the Dolphins. We're going to talk about this again because people are just completely saying about the Dolphins, they shouldn't worry about the playoffs. They're not going to do nothing this year anyway. Indianapolis Colts, San Francisco Niners, and Pittsburgh Steelers take 4th through 6th, all at 19 point something, 2, 4, and 7. Chicago at 20 even, and Tampa Bay giving up 20.3 rounds out your top 8 defensively. And again, our favorite guy, Todd, turnover differential. Your Tennessee Titans take first place at 1.5 turnovers on average per game. Turnover differential. And again, that's different than turnovers. Turnover differential. So they're on the plus side. Kansas City right there with them. Baltimore at an even 1. And just under 1, Seattle is in 4th place. So rounding out 4th through 8th, Seattle, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Detroit, and then Indianapolis at all just under 1. Detroit and Indianapolis at a half of turnover differential in their favor. So what I wanted to do, and let me see if I can do this correctly here, is I wanted to talk about those teams that are tops on offense, but not tops in defense. They're in the top 10 offensively, but they're not in the top 10 defensively. And I think that that's going to be problematic as we get a little further in the season. We're going to see if these guys in the second half of the season can get their defense together. Seattle, offense, number 1, defense, number 23. That's a big drop.
That's a big drop. That's problematic.
That's problematic. Green Bay Packers, number 2, defense, 19th. Tennessee Titans, number 4, defense, 17th. New Orleans Saints, number 7, defense is 24th. And the Cleveland Browns, who got into 10th offensively, but they're all the way down in the 29th in terms of offense. I mean defense. So these are the teams that have a big space, a disparate number between their offenses and their defense. They are not in balance. And in life, you must have balance, or you would have. You weren't with me when we went and saw the movie Koyaanisqatsi.
No.
Koyaanisqatsi is a Hopi Indian word that means life out of balance.
Okay.
These are the teams that are living life out of balance. Now, on the other side are top 10 defensive squads that are not top 10 on offense. So we're with the Rams, number 2 on defense, number 18 on offense. The Dolphins, number 4 on defense. Not bad. 12th on offense. That ain't too bad. Same with the Colts.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. And somehow, I have the Colts in here, and that's not correct. There's no way in the world. They're both number. Let me just see something. Let me fix that here. So your Colts defensively okay. Where are they at? Indianapolis. Okay, so somehow I got them in there, and let's skip them right now. My Niners, 49th, are 5th on defense and 16th on offense.
Not that bad.
Somehow winning, not too bad. The Bears, 7th on defense, and if they only had a quarterback, offensively they are 27th. So
that's bad.
That's bad. Yeah, that they're going to have to get together, and I don't think that they're going to, unless Mitch Trubisky comes back and plays the good side. We could almost Patrick. We can talk about Fitz magic and Fitz tragic. We talk about Trubisky as Trubiskying it up, but sometimes he has good games, and if he can have a Fitz magic side to him, maybe we can come up with a good turn. Ain't gonna happen, eh?
I don't think so.
Don't see that happening. Okay.
Or he'll come out. This is if they bench Foles and bring him back, because I still don't believe they're gonna do that. Have they announced that?
No, and I kind of agree with you. I think they're gonna ride Foles to the rails.
I think they're gonna ride him till the wheels fall off, and then they'll figure out what they're gonna do later.
Yeah.
But yeah, if somehow they were to bring Trubisky back, he would probably play well in his first game back and then start stinking it up again. So, or Trubiskying it up again, because that's just what he does.
Yeah, sad to say. All right. Well, that wraps up the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings portion of the show.